Hey everyone. So I got a lot of positive feedback on my Ork voices, and I thought I'd do something a little bit different and do a little tutorial on how to do an Ork voice. This is not going to be incredibly comprehensive, but I think I can give you a little bit of a start on how to do uh, an Ork voice. And maybe the reason you want to do this, maybe you want to make your own videos, or you're in a role-playing group and you need to do an Ork voice for whatever reason. Or maybe you just want to taunt your friend in your casual 40k matches. Either way, hopefully this tutorial will be helpful in improving your Ork voice, or giving you even the basics, or giving you some tools on how you can kind of fine-tune your Ork voice. So let's go over the basics. The first and most important thing of doing an Ork voice is making your voice sound guttural and adding Ork phrases. If you can kind of have a gravelly, bellowy kind of voice, and you can add an Ork phrasing, you don't have to change anything else. You don't have to learn any complicated accents. You will sound enough like an Ork that people will know that that's what you're trying to be. So let's say I want to loot all those gubbins. Hey boss, when are we going to get to kill humies? So if you're gravelly, you just kind of rough up your voice and, I want to loot all those gubbins. Hey boss, when are we going to get to kill humies? So that's basic. I didn't have to change my accent meaningfully. I just sounded rough, and I said weird Ork phrases, and that's enough for the most basic thing. The more intimidating part is doing the accent. And the Ork accent is kind of a Cockney, estuary-ish accent. And it doesn't really sound very intimidating if you're just doing it in a normal voice, which is why I prioritize learning how to be guttural sounding over getting the accent down perfectly. Because if you're just doing the accent and you don't sound guttural, you sort of end up sounding like this. And so you can talk about looting gubbins and shooting humies and being all stompy and killy and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's important to know the accent, but that's not going to make you sound Orky. It's very much about being guttural in the way you're speaking. But if you're going to try to improve your Ork accent, it's important to understand the different ways that Orks make sounds and the way they pronounce things differently. And I'll go over a couple of them. I'm not going to go over every single thing, but some things that'll help you make the right sounds for the most part. So one thing that's different from Ork accents from other ones is TH sounds. For Orks, this and that, those are hard TH. I call them hard TH sounds. Any TH sound which is like the. You're making that and this and those. Those are harder TH sounds. Softer TH sounds are like think and thing, where you have the that softer kind of sound. And for hard THs, those sounds become Ds for Orks, and the soft TH sounds become Fs for Orks. So if you say that thing over there, that becomes that thing over there. So you're getting rid of your TH sounds and replacing them either with Fs or Ds. I think it sounds okay if you also replace soft TH sounds with Ts. I think I want to go over to that thing over there. It's a different sort of sound. It's not quite the right accent, but I don't think it sounds bad if like that's more of what you're inclined to do. The other thing that Orks do is they cut things short and they mush things together. So thinking combined with our soft TH sound becomes finkin. So I've got a lot of thinking to do becomes I've got a lot of thinking to do. ER sounds also become A's, become A sounds. So harder becomes harder, as you also drop H sounds. So no ERs, that becomes A, and H sounds get dropped completely if they're the beginning of a word. So you can say things like headbutt. I'm gonna headbutt that git over there. Or let's say, I'm tougher and harder than any orc on the planet becomes, I'm tougher and harder than any orc on the planet. So you want to start off, make your voice guttural, and you learn your orc phrases. That's your first step. Next is learning the accent and learning how each kind of pronunciation changes. That things are a little bit different. Learn the orc accent, and then combine both of them and practice it until your voice sounds like a natural speech pattern. So eventually, you sound like an orc all the time. You don't gotta think about it. You's just orky. And this can take a long time. It's not particularly easy, especially if you're not practiced at learning new voices and picking them up real quick. The best thing I think you do is you pick up some Dawn of War orc lines. They're on YouTube. You can pick them up, and they have a lot of different things that orcs say. And then record yourself saying some of the phrases that come up in Dawn of War, and that gives you a pretty good way of practicing your orc voice and seeing how well you come along. So I hope that gives you guys a little bit of information on how to do a good orc voice. I'm also going to record some phrases that you can practice. I'm going to do those in separate videos. So they're nice and short. You don't have to listen to this whole thing every time. But I'll put those up on my channel very soon, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Good luck out there, boys! Remember, green is best! Whoa!